All right. Hi, fairy friends. So, I'm channeling the song Crazy Little Thing by Queen. That's a big one. We're going to get some messages from Ma real quick. So, I don't know, read the lyrics to that song. Somebody could be, madly in love with you, and they're going crazy over it, and they don't know what to do, what to think, what to say. I've been getting a couple of songs, actually. And then, of course, the minute I turn on the camera, I don't remember. All I had was Crazy Little Thing Called Love. That's it. That's it. I'm trying to think what the other song was, too, because I woke up with it in my head this morning. Alright, fuck it. I can't remember what it was. It's going to bug the fucking hell out of me until I do remember it. But, so I'll pop back on later and tell you guys, because I'm not going to waste my battery time. I just hate that shit. If you wake up in the morning with a song in your head, write it the fuck down, okay? Listen to it, study the lyrics, especially if there's only one part that keeps replaying over and over and over in your head. That's not just your brain trying to fucking annoy you. That's the gods trying to send you a message, right? So don't be like Tiff. Write the fucking song down, because now it's going to bug the hell out of me, okay? And with all the spiritual warfare, I can't help but think, that I'm being blocked or some shit. Ooh, greed. The more one accumulates wealth, the more wealth one desires to accumulate. Satisfaction always eludes those blinded by material pursuit. So somebody may have been avoiding coming towards you because of money issues, if you catch my drift. I talk a lot about class on this channel. We don't discuss class very often in America. Because we don't think we have it, but we absolutely do. It's just that in America, there's more upward mobility as far as money is. So, let's say you live in England and you are, the Duke's son or daughter, but your whole fucking family goes broke. Well, you're still the Duke's son or daughter. You might not have access to that world of aristocracy, because aristocracy... Aristos, wealth, kratos, power, so rule power of the wealthy. So you're not going to have the same access, but you're still the Duke's daughter, right? Or son, or the prince, or what the fuck ever. You know what I mean? You're still royal, or you're still, I almost want to say divine, for those of us out there who are struggling to stay in touch with our soul family. You're still divine. Just because you're broke, just because you're, fuck, you could be homeless, you could be on the streets right now, you could have nothing to your fucking name. You're still the emperor, you're still the empress, okay? Now, that doesn't mean any one particular individual in this lifetime or in this country is going to recognize that, right? So people don't know your heritage or your background, just by looking at you. They may think they do, but they don't. So anyway, Ma, can we get a little more? That's the first time I pulled, I think, and I didn't get something that I had written. What's going on with this aristocracy, this situation? There's a heavy spirit of confusion around. I cannot fucking remember what I said. Be careful with your affection. It may be misdirected. So, during this time, please just take whatever resonates, because there's a big spirit of confusion. Yeah, I keep pulling all of these backwards. Something wants this shit blocked. Someone you trust will let you down. A very jealous person will quarrel with you. And a relative will make you angry. So it sounds like somebody's got a lot of spiritual warfare surrounding their close relatives and family members right now. Let's see if we can pull... Within a month, you will hear news of great importance. This is why. This is why this is happening to you right now, okay? Because within a month, you will hear news of great importance. A long-sought position will be yours. I fucking love this stick. Speculate, and you will be rewarded. So, whatever you think is going on, that's what's going on. You think somebody is jealous of you, even though they're so kind and sweet to your face, They'd never admit it in 1,000 years. Nobody would ever suspect it. You think somebody may be plotting on you? Somebody may be, I don't know, fucking around on you? Like, whatever, you know? Speculate and you will be rewarded. So, and this shit is confirmation only. Oh, happy midsummer, everybody. This shit is, we're definitely going to pull the fairy cards today. This shit is for confirmation only, okay? I'm telling you that right now. I don't know who needs to hear what. There's probably several different messages for several different people in this one video, okay? Alright, Ma, what else you got for us on this beautiful Litha morn? Afternoon. I reckon it's afternoon. Ooh. Stay hydrated because, your tongue goes white if you're not. Whoa, I opened something about my grimoire. You have encountered criticism previously. Your influence from varying ethnic and religious traditions. Okay. The source for smudging. Okay, so you, one of the reasons you might be coming under fire spiritually, it's coming first off, if you're still trying to figure out who your hidden op is, it's somebody that has criticized you a lot before in the past. I'm picking up this person's criticized you for being eclectic, right? For drawing from different sources, different traditions, different cultures to inform your own practice. That's what eclecticism is. It's not just blindly taking shit like, oh, this is neat, I think I'll take it. It's drawing inspiration that you work into your own shit, right? So, like, let's say you have a connection, you feel like you're connected to birds, and you looked up the Native American headdresses, right? With all the feathers and beads and stuff. You looked that up, and you looked into the lore of it a little bit, and you're like, wow, I'm really vibing with this. So you go out and you make your own headdress that incorporates feathers. See what I'm saying? You don't go out and make an exact replica of XYZ Chief's headdress and wear it and claim that lineage. What you do as an eclectic, you take inspiration. You're like, oh wow, that's because birds are in every sky. Feathers fall on every land. Every human living has a head, I'm assuming, right? So it's not appropriation to simply want to make a headdress of feathers. It is appropriation when you copy it. I want to say verbatim. I don't know what the real world. It is appropriation, however, when you make a facsimile, I guess, of that thing, and then try to claim that lineage. That, or claim your place in that lineage. That's what we're talking about. That's the difference between cultural appropriation and eclecticism. I feel the need to explain this because people don't understand this. They truly do not, right? You take something you take ideas, styles, principles, maybe even a couple ritual practices from different folk traditions. Usually it's folk traditions, but it doesn't have to be. Different traditions, different cultures, and you make it your own. Okay? You make it your own. You boil it down to the universal elements. You make it your own, and then you bring it into your practice. Okay, you understand? So that's what eclecticism is, and you just draw from you. It's more like a calling. Rarely does anybody wake up and say, I'm going to be an eclectic. You know, it's not really something you can fake. You're just a naturally curious person. If you're an eclectic, you're a naturally curious person. If you're not a naturally curious person, you're going to have a hard time grasping the concept of what eclecticism is. Because you're not naturally curious. right? And I'm not putting anybody down. I'm just saying, like, nobody should feel like they have to incorporate other traditions or other cultures if they're perfectly content, satisfied, and fulfilled with their own. Okay? Then you're traditional, right? It's not an issue. So, and if someone's more traditional and they feel like they have to be eclectic, that's being expected of them, it's going to come across as appropriation. So, here it is. As an eclectic path, I feel it behooves us to evolve openly and unabashedly to cite our spiritual influences. Oh, mama! I see what's going on. Normally, okay, listen. So these kinds of pictures, these aren't just drawn or doodled, right? Like these are sacred images. Like everything down to the color of the crown, the color of her sari, the way her hands are positioned, probably even the ink it was used, the time it was made, everything about these images. And yes, they do get reproduced a lot. That's true. These images are sacred in and of themselves. Okay? They're done with, like, you know how in the Torah or in the Old Testament there's that whole bit about like how to make the temple. It's a ritual. These images are crafted ritualistically. Okay? These are not just like, I mean, you will find, like, if you get on YouTube, like, you'll find God art. You know, it's really neat. I actually rather like it. You know, like, you'll find God art where people have, you know, made KaliMa and put in a certain way, or, you know. But for like these traditional images right here, right? There's a formula. There's a ritual for these. Okay? These aren't just somebody's pretty doodle. You know what I mean? So I don't know if someone is not citing their sources, but I'm picking up that big time. I am picking up that somebody is not giving credit where credit is due. And I'm praying that it ain't me. Because I try to give you all my, you know, I try to tell you, hey, I picked up this from the Jewish tradition. I picked up this from Hinduism. I picked up this from the Kabbalah. I picked up the Kabbalah. Somebody's stealing from the Kabbalah, which is crazy. Somebody might be passing off wisdom that they are saying that they came up with. They absolutely did not come up with that. Somebody could be, I mean, I've got Ma's journal right here. Somebody could be pulling from Vedic traditions. That's what I'm looking for. Somebody could be pulling from Vedic traditions and saying that these are their ideas. Like these are not the fuck their ideas. Like, what's going on, Mom? What is going on with this? Somebody is, at least to credit those most active in one of our honored influences. Yeah, somebody's spirit guides are pissed. They're pissed because somebody is not honoring somebody is not being forthcoming about what they've learned. Fertility, growth. Huh. With moderation and indulgence. Somebody's own, as a side note, somebody's own alcoholism or drug use or whatever addiction could be blocking their growth. Yeah, somebody needs to learn moderation. I cannot imagine a woman of your education having done so. Somebody knows better. Somebody's taking, and they're not giving back. Either they're not honoring the right God forms, right? Like they're not honoring the right deities. They're not giving anything back to the community. They don't know anything about the culture of origin that these practices are coming from. They're just I don't know. Using them for protection? If somebody thinks that they can invoke KaliMa for just their magic, they're sorely fucking mistaken. Ma likes devotees. You are not just going to cast a magic circle or cast a dark circle, whatever the fuck you call it. You are not just gonna fucking summon Ma to have her power up your amulet. That is not the fuck how that's gonna happen. Like, I'm sorry. Ma likes devotees, not dabblers. Somebody is dabbling, and they're dabbling with the wrong... I just fucking spit. Ma's pissed. Somebody is dabbling, and they are dabbling with the wrong fucking deity. Yeah, soul prevails. Oh, shit. I'm talking now. Somebody might even be out there saying they're Ma's beloved, and they the fuck are not. Oh, yep. Somebody's lying. Somebody's the fuck lying out there. You don't listen. You don't just summon Ma. You don't. Ma, like, I'll say it again. If I say it once, I'll say it 1,000 fucking times. Ma likes devotees, not dabblers. Understand? That's Ma's energy. Okay? If you know anything about the one deity I could compare her to would be Pombagira in that regard. Pombagira. Oh, come on, Tiffy. I want to say Santeria, but I'm not entirely sure. There's another one. It's South American religion, South American magical tradition that blends traditional tribal practices with Catholicism, the Catholicism that the invaders brought with them at the time. Except this one went a little darker. This one, because sometimes what would happen was the people would combine with the Catholicism so that they could be seen in the light. You know what I'm getting at? Like, oh yeah, no, we're good. We're of the divine. They want to be seen in the light. But this tradition decided, pun intended, this tradition decided, nope, the hell with that. This is our practice. This was our ancestors' practices. This is what the new Catholicism says about that. So we're just going to lean in, right? And we're just going to be like, yeah, that's us. We're the little devils. How do you know? Maybe Santeria, but I don't think so. I don't think it's Santeria. It's a different. So if you know, put it in the comments or Google Pombagira. You find out a little bit. Anyway, but she's a very dark goddess, or she can be a very dark goddess, and she is notorious for only working with people who are what's the word I'm looking for? Initiated into her cult, right? Like, I say cult, and as a religious studies scholar, when I was, and I only have a bachelor's in religious studies, but armchair scholar, okay. But in religious studies departments, the word cult gets used quite often, and it usually is used in reference to like ancient religions, and it just means a very, very, very narrow, very, very select religious experience, right? So the cult of Artemis, the cult of Zeus, the cult of Dionysus, the cult of Isis, the cult of Osiris. See what I'm getting at? We would call them sects today, like S-E-C-T, I guess, maybe. So, and we also have this term, like the term cult classics. Like, you hear that all the time. Like a movie that wasn't popular when it was in the theaters, but then as soon as it goes to video or to Netflix, people are like, oh my god, this is amazing. We call that a cult classic, you know? So, Pombagira is notorious for only working with people who have been initiated into her cult, who have devoted themselves to serving her, right? To being her people, as it were. KaliMa, however you say it, or just Ma. Ma is the same way. She's the same way. You don't approach her with a dabbler's heart. You just don't. Like, either you, if you're not a devotee of KaliMa, and she is working with you, then it's because you have undergone a significant amount of ego death, right? It's because you have ascertained the reality of divine oneness, right? So, many gods, one source. They all share an essence, okay? That's how you could have so many gods in the universe and there not be wars or not be, well, some would argue there are, but that, whatever. It's whatever. What the fuck was I getting at? Yeah, so, I mean, if you do feel Ma's presence around you, and you're not a specific devotee of her, then it's because you are spiritually mature enough. You have matured spiritually to ascertain the divine oneness, right? So Kali, as time, change, death, and I want here manifestation, you're going to see her in the backdrop because she is God as death, God as time, God as change, God as apparently manifestation, all right? So one of those two situations, if you're just approaching her as a standalone deity who you can convince to do malicious black magic shit for you, oh, buddy, you're gonna end up in her fucking jewelry box. And that'll be the best place for you. Ma does take pity on people who call out to her. She does. But, it's not any way like you would expect. Like, instead of burning in hell for eternity, you'll end up in her jewelry box, right? And you'll love it because you will have been severed from all of your heinous karma. This is what I mean by ending up in Ma's jewelry box, okay? You'll end up in her jewelry box. But I'm getting somebody's pissed her off big time. Great effort. War. Yeah, this is war. Yeah, she's also a war goddess too. Remember that. Summer. Ooh, there's going to be big changes. There's going to be a spiritual warfare this summer. Ooh, the king's coming to town. Oh shit, yous were fucking in for it now. Things are going to settle down by cunning. Huh, I'm not sure what that means. The dragon will have arrived by autumn? I'm not sure. Death! Sorry. I'm so dehydrated. I won't stick that nasty wet ass tongue out. Rebirth. Oh, mama, we love you. This is what's coming by autumn. Change and rebirth. So there's going to be a great war this summer. There'll be great spiritual warfare this summer. That warfare will be over by autumn. Ma's going to come wipe the floor with them. That warfare will be concluded by autumn. It'll be concluded with death. Death of the old ways, followed by rebirth. So I don't know who's pissing her off, what's pissing her off. It's one thing if you're just like, okay, you gotta understand Ma, man. Recognizing the opportunity and want. Okay, Ma wants us to recognize an opportunity here. So, soul prevails. Okay, all right, Ma, I'm on it. Wisdom. Okay, I'm on it, Mom. So, Ma says, it's one thing to be just somebody on the street running around talking like, oh, I love Kali, or I'm, What Ma is talking about with this reading is a spiritual advisor. That's what pisses her the fuck off. Somebody out there is saying they're a guru, saying they're a chosen, saying they're a prophet of KaliMa, and they the fuck are not. And not only are they not, they are saying things that she does not fucking agree with. Like, at all. Somebody's using her. There's a spiritual teacher. So somebody who wants to actually influence people, okay? There's a spiritual teacher out there. Could be a Scorpio, could be a Leo, because Griffins have the eagle and the lion. So Scorpio energy and Leo energy. Could be an air sign somewhere in the mix too. Could be an Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. Could be a Gemini. I heard Aquarius. So. Anyway, yeah, so somebody is willfully misleading people. Feigning a divine connection with Ma. Productivity and fearing shadows. To get clout. To get people to fear them. They're using Ma's name to do work on people to make them afraid of them. Understanding mystery is safety. This is pissing Mom off immensely. Because she's an incredibly loving goddess. Incredibly loving. Like, do you want to know what offerings to give to Ma? I'll give you a hint. It's not a fucking cup full of blood. It's not your own fucking blood. Understand the mysteries. I'm going to hold this up while I talk. It's not a cup of your fucking blood. Somebody's saying you need to give blood offerings to Mom. That's what I feel like someone's saying. That someone's convincing people, maybe even, that they need to hurt themselves to honor Ma. Ma is the god of death. Time, change, manifestation, war. She say it's alright. Does this look like a bitch that needs you to give her blood? I think she can get her blood. Ma gets blood. Ma gets her blood. Does this look like Ma gets plenty of blood. You know what Ma wants? A card that you made that said I love you. You know what Ma wants? A little balloon that says we love you, Mom, like I have on my altar. That my kids gave to me, right? That's the shit that Ma wants. She wants you to come to her like a child. You want to sing a hymn to Ma? Plop your ass down in front of her image and sing the ABCs like you're a 4-year-old again. You think I'm playing with you, and I'm not. I'm not playing with you. You want to gain Ma's favor? Embrace your inner preschooler. I'm serious. Sing her Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Make her a macaroni necklace. Like, cry to her if you have to. Cry to her. Like, she's your mother. She's Ma. She doesn't want you to I had a dream about this. Oh, man. I had a dream some weird motherfucker was trying to sacrifice children. He had a bunch of kids in a big black tent. This might be the person I'm talking to. He had a bunch of kids in a big black tent. Okay? And the black tent had devil horns. Like it was so stereotypical. And I went into the big black tent. And there were children all around it. My own children were there too. And the whole tent was confusion and stagnation. Do you know what was happening? Inside this tent was a television screen. VHS. Okay? These kids were all sitting, and there were like 20, 30 kids packed in this tent. And when I say big, it actually wasn't. It was like a big backyard tent. It's a backyard tent. Pitch black with devil horns on top. Okay? 20, 30 kids in this fucking tent. They're all watching the same video. The same VHS recording. And it is horrific car crashes. It is video of head-on collisions. Again and again and again and again. Okay? And I'm like, what what is this? And the spirit, and that was weird. It was a spirit of abandonment. Because I got confused. And I turned around. And I walked out of the tent. And as I'm walking out of the tent, my own 2 children are in this tent, mind you. My older son looks at me like, he gives me this look like, as if to say, Mom, are you really going to leave us in here? And I stepped out of the tent. And I zipped it back up. And as I turned, I froze. In my dream, I froze. And I remembered how he looked at me. And I said, no, I got to get my son. So I turned back around. Now I both my boys. So I turned, instead of leaving, I turned right back around on my heels, unzipped the tent, reached in, grabbed my boys, pulled them out, and zipped it back up. And then, as soon as I did that, I was transported to like a bedroom. It looked like a barracks, but it was a bedroom. We just had one bed. And I just started praying to Ma. In my dream, I started praying to Ma, right? And I prayed to her to, please, Ma, please rescue all the other children in there, and please destroy these evil demons, whoever's trying to hurt these children. I just prayed, like, dear Ma, please just get them, just save those children and destroy these evil demons, Ma. And boom. Suddenly I was transported. Now I'm sitting in the back of a vehicle. All right. My kids are not with me, but my soul is content because I know they're safe. Like, I just know that they're safe, right? So I'm not worried about where my children are at. I got them to a safe place. So I'm sitting in the backs with like 1, 2, 3, 4 other people, right? And there's that person in the fucking front. There's this weird ass blonde person, blonde hair, blue-eyed white dude sitting in the front. Okay. And, I'm looking at him, and he's got a knife or some shit. And he hands a knife back to me. And he's like, why don't you make a sacrifice? And I'll tell you what, my dudes. Okay, I'll tell you what. I thought about it. I was like, I am a devotee of KaliMa. You know. Put your money where your mouth is. Okay? So I held my palm, and I held the knife. I thought about it for a second, like, you know, you got to put your money where your mouth is. It's, you know. And I did contemplate it. Like a good Christian would. And then the answer came to me. And I looked at him and I said, no. I wasn't called to sacrifice myself. You were. And I threw the knife out front. Scene switched again. Suddenly, we're out on a main street. He's sitting in an outdoor patio of a restaurant. I know, weird, right? Like, it just changed like that. Suddenly we're on a main street. They're out in front of like a bistro, okay? And this motherfucker is giving me the nastiest look as blood just pours from his palm. Pours from his palm. And then I berated him. I go, see,